So again, we are here with Chris Linden and Paul Arco from Northwest Quarterly Magazine. We've been talking about the spring issue you guys have coming up, which is just a few weeks away, but you also had a big, unveiling of a brand new project just this past week.
That's right. Just this last week, we launched our We Buy Local product, which is a giant directory of locally owned businesses all around our community. We spanned our entire region of northwestern Illinois searching for the best locally owned businesses that we could. And we wanted to be able to highlight and show all the great things that this community has to offer.
Because what's the thinking behind encouraging people to buy local? Besides just that it sounds nice, but...
Well, the numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah.
A study out in Michigan showed that just by shifting 10% of your income or your spending from a big box store to a locally owned business, you could actually generate $140 million into the local community and add another 1,600 jobs to that area. And you look at other statistics about big box stores, they, for every one job created at a big box store, you lose 1.4 jobs in the local community. And then 80 cents out of every dollar that you spend at a big box store goes straight out of town. It doesn't stay here. So there are a lot of statistics that really show that going to a locally owned business is really a good thing, and it can really help your local community.
So how did you guys come up with the idea to do a whole publication just about this?
I think really what we realized was that within our magazine itself, Northwest Quarterly, we already highlight so many great local businesses, and we wanted to be able to show off everything that they do. It's almost kind of a way of them being able to pat themselves on the back and be able to say, hey, we really do have something good here. We really do offer a lot in this community. We highlight everything from wedding services to home repairs, appliances, electronics. We talk about jewelry and fashion, business products and services, all across the board. Anything you could imagine you want to do in this community, we've actually found a business that does that, and they're locally owned.
So it seems like you can almost keep this with you kind of almost as a phone book or like a reference book, right? Just so that whenever something comes up, you could look in there first and see if anyone does it locally?
And that's our hope, is that you'll be able to keep this for an entire year. This is our first annual guide.
So you're going to do it again?
So we certainly hope to do it again next year.
Well, there are other pieces in it too. There's the physician's directory. There's also a fundraising guide. So there's a calendar of events of fundraisers that are coming up. And there's also a listing of service clubs in the area as well. So it's our first effort, and hopefully we can add pieces to it next year as well.
That's great. Does it look like a phone book on the inside then, or is it full of articles?
It's definitely better than a phone book.
Okay. So what all does it have?
It has all the great things that you'd expect to see within our Northwest Quarterly magazine. We've taken a lot of care to create some magnificent advertisements. We've also taken a lot of time to show some beautiful photography from around the area and be able to kind of tell you a little bit about why you should buy local. We found statistics for all of our different areas, kind of encouraging you to understand this is why you should buy local.
How can you tell, excuse me, how can you tell when you're out shopping? Sometimes I don't know if a store is local or not. Is there a good way to tell besides just having this publication?
Well, our publication is definitely a good way to tell. Our magazine, too, offers a lot of insight into local businesses and different places that you can find right here. Ultimately, I think it comes down to how big is the business. Are they something that's right in here, there's only one of them, or is it something where you can find the same cookie cutter box store every other place that you go?
Yeah. So you guys had your big kickoff party this past week at Giovanni's. How did that go?
It went really well. I mean, we're excited and pleased with the turnout. Lots of great people showed up, and there was just lots of synergy and enthusiasm, I think, from the community too. And it was just great to get people together and kind of talk about their experiences as well, and for them to get a chance to meet each other too. So we felt really great about the turnout, and are excited really about the future of this particular magazine.
So how long is this magazine going to be available?
This magazine will be available for the next several months.
Okay.
But you'll also be able to find it throughout the year. We'll be distributing it through our nearly 250 advertising partners all around the region. The great thing too is that in the next couple of weeks we'll open up our website, webuylocal.com.
Okay.
And within there we have a full directory of all our different services, all of our different products, and our giant physician directory as well. And all of this is fully searchable, fully accessible, and it'll be there for pretty much forever.
What's cool about that is a lot of people, if you have a smartphone or if you have internet on your phone, you can check it on your phone. So as you're out shopping, you can just be like, well, I guess I'll go to this store, right?
Exactly. And we've taken great care to make sure that you can do that too.
So the website's in the works right now?
It is in the works right now. Our friends over at Jumping Trout Internet Technologies up in McChesney Park have been hard at work the last couple of weeks putting this thing together. And it's going to be awesome when it's all finished.
Okay, because we had it up on your screen. It's webuylocal.com.
That's
correct. Is that right? But you can't go to it yet.
You can still go to it, and actually,
Okay.
if you do right now, you'll see a full listing of all of the different places you can find our magazine. So we at least want to be able to show you something so far. Come back in a couple of weeks and we'll show you the full product.
Gotcha. So you can at least kind of get started with it. Have you been surprised by the reaction so far from people? Have you gotten more of a reaction than you thought you would?
I think so. I mean, you know, the advertisers are extremely pleased, and you know, it was nice to be able to work with them and showcase their products, and I know they're getting great feedback from their customers as well. But just every day, you know, somebody has come into our office looking for a copy of this magazine. There was a lot of buildup and a lot of anticipation, and I think we've just been overwhelmed with the response from the community.
Well, and not just from consumers, but also I'm sure the stores appreciate it. I know that can't be easy to have your own local store right now and keep it going against everything else that's out there, right?
Yeah, you know, and again, we talked about what Chris mentioned earlier about pricing. You know, they're very competitive. Their service is excellent. And, you know, I think about, too, all the time when you look at Little League baseball teams, for example, you see the sponsors' names on it. You know, who are those sponsors? Those are local businesses that are supporting them. So I think, in turn, it's fair that we support them as well, and that's what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do is create a movement, and we want people to join the movement. Gotcha.
Makes sense to me. Well, we'll go ahead and put up the information again for you here real quick, because these are all the places that you can go to find out where to get the We Buy Local Guide or Northwest Quarterly when that comes out in a few weeks. NorthwestQuarterly.com, WeBuyLocal.com, or you can give them a call. They're 815-316-2300, and we'll have all this information for you again right after the break. Guys, thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you.